Hello and welcome to Queenie's Card of the Week with me, Erin, aka Queenie Shannon. And each week I pull a tarot card that kind of encapsulates and describes the energy of the week or the potential energy of the week. And this is for the week of September 24th. So today we pulled Temperance. She's pretty beautiful. Again, this is the Eileen Connolly deck. I like those cards because they're bright colored and they had cherubs. I was really drawn to them. I've been using this deck probably since around 1990, 89, 90, maybe earlier. Pardon me. Anyway, so the Temperance card is a Major Arcana card. It is card number 14. The Major Arcana represents like soul evolution. The other cards, the suit cards and the number cards, they tend to represent more day-to-day stuff, a little bit lighter, more material, mundane things. And Major Arcana cards represent bigger things. So this is a big week. The reason it's a big week is that the Temperance card is the Alchemist. So alchemy, like turning lead into gold, taking one thing that is whole into itself and merging it with another thing to create something entirely new. Okay, it's a very creative process card. It talks about patience as well, but it's more along the lines of being patient with yourself during the creative process. So the energy around this next week is you're going to want to push to make something happen, but the best thing is to allow it to happen, because sometimes when you push to make something happen, you just kind of burn the soup. Like if you try and cook your soup too fast. So I've decided that the metaphor for your creativity is your soup. So during this next week, you have to take the time to chop all the vegetables that are on their own, they're okay. But when you put them together with all your other ingredients and all your other spices, which on their own are okay, when you put them together and you take your time and you cook them slow and you simmer them for a long time, you end up creating this really amazing soup. So this week is about soup, right? Yeah. It is, in a sense, but that's like cooking alchemy, okay? That's cooking alchemy. You might have heard my cat meow as he walked by. He likes to talk. But so the Temperance card, as you can see, she is pouring water from one cup into the other, and that's kind of symbolic of temperance. She has to go back and forth until it's just right. She's got the medallion at her third eye, and she's got all that light coming down. She is being divinely inspired. So she is willing to wait until she is divinely inspired before she does anything, before she feels like her creation is complete. And so the energy that I'm getting around this week, and I know that some people are very, very, very creative, and they creatively express themselves easily, and it seems like it's effortlessly. But sometimes even for people who are very creative and highly productive with that creativity, get stuck sometimes. And basically this card is about learning how to be patient with yourself if you get stuck. Learning how to understand that to create the alchemical process requires the exact measurements, requires the exact items and the exact measurements in the exact way at the exact time. And we even though we'd like to have control over absolutely everything, including our creative process, our relationships, our life, our world, our environment, we'd like to have control over absolutely everything, so we're not surprised by anything, so we're not, you know, so things don't get out of our control, so we're not hurt, so we're not disappointed, so we're not cold or hungry or whatever. We The alchemical process isn't something, the creative process isn't something that you can control. You can bring all the ingredients there and you can you can set them up just right. If you're patient, you can set them up just right. But it's really what you're creating that has its own timeline, that has its own idea about when it's ready, when it's cooked. It's not like it's have you ever had an oven that for some reason never goes along with the instructions of your recipe? It either cooks too hot, so too quickly, or too cool, or too slowly, and it never, like, that timer goes off, you can't guarantee that it's actually right. If you've ever had that, well, this week is kind of like that. Kind of like that. That oven pretty much dictates when it's done, not you. And so the creative process, your creativity, will dictate when it's done, when it's complete, and not you. And you'll know. So we can talk about alchemy as being inspired to take some sort of action that contributes to your own creative expression and your creative process. Now, again, Temperance, the Temperance card, will talk about patience as well. I did talk a little bit about patience, but more stuff about that is that, yeah, you can't make it go any faster than it's going to. It just is. So, neener. But some people see the Temperance card because they remember the temperance movement, where people really wanted people to stop drinking that demon alcohol. Well, this might be about purifying yourself in a way this week to get clean so that you can be like this priestess, in a sense, pure, clear of mind, so that your creative process is clear too. So I might have rambled and everything, but this week's card is the Temperance card. It's card number 14 in the major arcana, and it's a beautiful card, which means it's also a beautiful time to give yourself a little breathing room, a little space to create. Understand that once you get all the items together to turn into what you want to create, that then your part of the process is over, and you've got to let it happen, let it come out. Step aside and let the universe, or whatever you feel is your higher power, or whether you don't have a higher power, whatever, let that take over. I hope you have a good week. I'm working on having a good week already, and it's Sunday. And I hope you like these videos. If you do, you can leave me a comment and let me know. I would like to know whether you like these videos so I can keep doing them, and maybe I'll try different card decks. Right now, we're working on the tarot because I haven't farted around with that. Farted. Seriously. I'm like 13, okay? I haven't messed around with that deck for a while doing readings, so I thought I would do that. Normally, I use the Fairies Oracle, and any of you that used to watch my Card of the Month videos have seen the cards from there. But right now, we're taroting it as kind of like tarot lessons. Anyway, have a wonderful week. I love you madly. Thank you very much for watching. I really mean that. It's really lovely.